So you've connected to Genie. You have your data inside Genie. You're already interacting with it, asking it questions. It's giving you answers, but you want to make sure it's giving you the best answers possible. So the main tools you're going to have on your tool belt are natural language instruction. So over here under instructions, we have text, where we can just write to Genie and tell it in plain words what we want it to do. We also have SQL expressions, where we can define simple calculations, things like KPIs. Here we have ATV, average transaction value, already defined, just so we can see right off the bat what this looks like. And you'll have SQL queries. These are example queries. You could have a phrase that maps directly to a specific piece of logic. But also, these example queries are going to be something that Genie can learn from. And even if the question isn't an exact match, it might use the patterns that it sees in your example queries to answer other questions that it judges as being similar enough to the questions that it has stored. So let's see what each of these look like. Let me start out by demonstrating that this natural language instruction is implementing this fiscal calendar concept. So we can ask, show me monthly revenue. And what's going to happen is Genie's going to take into consideration all of the context that we've imprinted over here in our instructions. So if we go to show code, we can see there's some fancy logic that's being performed on top of our dates to provide this fiscal kind of view. Now I'm going to add another instruction here, just as we verify on the left-hand side that we are indeed seeing fiscal months and we're seeing that revenue that we asked for. I'd like to add a new instruction, and something that I want to do is notice that I asked a question about revenue. If we go deep enough into our data, let me save this. Let me go look at the data. We can see that I have this total price field. So this is what Genie is using as revenue just by default. But I also have in another table, in this line item table, I have an extended price. So a common thing that would happen in a business context is you have many different fields, many different columns that could be sales, could be revenue. And they might be slightly different, right? You might have net revenue, gross revenue, other kinds of revenue. And we want to tell Genie that whenever somebody asks a vague question like revenue, where there could potentially be many different definitions of that, we want to not immediately answer the question and make an assumption about what revenue is. We want Genie to ask a clarifying question back. What do you mean, revenue? So let's add this. Let's say, always ask a clarifying question when prompted for revenue. And we can put something very simple that just says, please clarify the specific revenue you're looking for. And we'll just put in parentheses here the two options that we have: total price, extended price. And we're not even going to map that to specific columns. Let's just see how Genie handles this kind of natural language prompt. And the reason I'm doing this kind of example, you'll notice here the fiscal calendar example and this clarifying question. These are things that wouldn't really be appropriate for the other two tools in our toolbox, right? This isn't going to be easy for me to impress upon a SQL expression or a SQL query. This is a piece of context I need to imprint onto Genie using the text. So let's save this and let's go into a new little chat window and we'll just say, show me the monthly revenue. All right, so Genie is asking me this clarifying question, and I'm going to say use total price. Let's see what Genie comes up with. If we click on the show code, we can see that it's correctly using the total price column that we have. So let's ask another question. In the same chat window, I'm going to ask another question about revenue, like show me revenue per country. So let's see if Genie's going to honor what I said about always ask that clarifying question, or if it's just going to assume I want the same revenue that I had before. Yeah, so in this case, in the same chat window, it's just going to assume that I want to see the same revenue that I had before. But if I were in the context of a new chat and I were to ask, show me revenue by country, now it's going to ask me that clarifying question again. So if I wanted to, I could fine tune that, maybe even in the context of a local chat. You know, if I ask a question, it asks me what kind of revenue do you want? And then I say, hey, I want you to use total price. Maybe every time that I ask a follow-up question, I would want Genie to not make an assumption and ask me that clarifying question again. Or maybe that's really annoying and I would prefer, within the context of a single chat, that Genie just remembers what I want to be revenue. But the point here is I could continue building out this context of how I want Genie to behave, and I could communicate that behavior to Genie through this natural text. So that is the text instructions. Now let's take a look at SQL expressions, and we have this field here, ATV. Let's add another SQL expression. Let's do a measure, and we had just talked about extended price. So let's use that, build upon that, and build a new KPI that has a discounted price. So we could call this discounted price, and this is going to be the sum of extended price minus or times 1 minus the discount associated. And the discount's in a percentage. I just know this off the top of my head, so I'm doing 1 minus. So that the discounted price is effectively that total price minus whatever was discounted. Now I'm going to add in the table. So this comes from the line item table. That's what this little error down here is telling me. Table name or alias is required for the column. Let's do that over here as well. So now this little expression, it's not a full SQL query. This is just a simple expression, hence why it's called SQL expressions. And this is going to give me this convenient way to imprint KPI definitions into the context of Genie. So if I now ask a question about discounted price, so I could say, which countries had the most discounted price? And that's a terribly phrased question, but let's just see that Genie can now map this kind of phrase to the measure that we built. So if we go to show code, we can see that indeed that definition that we created for discounted price, that's what Genie is referencing as discounted price. So this one's pretty straightforward. These SQL expressions are great ways for you to imprint this simple kind of calculation and KPIs into the context of Genie. Now let's use this ATV definition, and this is going to also be a nice lead into SQL queries, where right now we don't have any of these defined, but I would like to set up a situation where Genie is not quite answering a question the way I want it to be answered, and we're going to use SQL queries to ensure that Genie starts to answer that question correctly. We're going to give it a good example to follow. So what we can do here is ask a question like, let's start with an easy one. Show me ATV per month. And the reason this is going to be easy is, while Genie's thinking, we can look at the data. I have data at the order level, just to give you a crash course in the data we're working with here. But we also have line items where there are multiple line items for every order. So if my ATV is using a price that's found in my orders table, and then I have multiple line items, multiple pieces of an order, Genie's going to have duplicate revenue values anytime that this table is joined to my orders. So I started out with an easy question where I'm only using the orders data, so there's no duplicate revenue in the picture. And we can see what this average transaction value looks like, and we can see that it's using the definition of ATV that we have in our instructions. Over here under SQL expressions, that is the definition of ATV. That is what we're seeing here. However, if we ask a question about ATV that involves that line item table, now we're going to be dealing with duplicate revenue. And let's see what happens. So show me ATV for returned orders. Now, to get information about what orders were returned, Genie is going to need to join the line item data to the orders data, because the returns happen at the line item level, not the orders level. And we can click show code. And what's going to happen here is we've joined in these line items, which means we have duplicate revenue in the picture, but we haven't deduplicated the revenue at the order level before calculating this ATV, right? So you can imagine if I had one single order and that order had 4 components in it, 4 line items, I'm getting 4 times the revenue when I sum this. Now, in this very simple example, I see that Genie added in distinct order total price. So perhaps the problem I'm trying to set up here, Genie was actually smart enough to avoid it. But let's tell Genie, hey, you got this wrong. Let's be sure and tell it the revenue for total price needs to be deduplicated before calculating ATV. So I'm telling Genie that I don't think it got that logic quite right. I need some explicit logic that's going to deduplicate my revenue before it derives my ATV. And now if we show the code, we'll see that Genie corrects that logic, and it's doing this, where we can see that I'm getting for that combination of the 2 tables where I combine my orders and my line items, instead of just having the order key and the order, the total price as it exists after doing that join, we're instead going to be getting the distinct order key and total price. So this is correct. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this logic, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to, well, maybe also tell Genie, hey, that you now got it correct. Thank you. It's always nice to give that feedback, especially if you're on a team of people managing a Genie space. You want to give feedback on if it's answering things well or answering it not. And to ensure that, that this question is going to be answered correctly, I'm going to want to save this query over here in the SQL queries. So we can make a new example question. Let's say that this is ATV for, or let's spell it out actually, average transaction value for returned orders. And this is the SQL query that got that specific question right. And if we save this, now we could open up a new chat window and we could say, show me ATV for returned orders. And what we're hoping to see is that Genie is going to remember the context that we saved here. It's going to see that question and it's going to know how to answer it. And if we click show code, we can see, yes, indeed, Genie's using exactly that example query that we had. So let's hop into a completely new chat and let's ask Genie a similar question. So it's not going to be the exact same question, but it's going to be a very similar structure. We're going to ask about the average transaction value for maybe discounted orders instead of returned orders. What we're hoping to see is that Genie is going to be smart enough to understand the pattern that exists here, the way that we want this type of question answered. And even if the question is not exactly the same, it's going to get this right for discounted orders as well. So let's ask, show me the ATV for discounted orders. And we wait here for the moment of truth. Click show code and we can see, yes, the same pattern has been followed. So just to recap, whenever you connect to your data, you start asking Genie questions. You're going to have three main tools in your tool belt for imprinting your knowledge, your business context into Genie. You're going to have the text instructions. This is where I would recommend putting things that are hard to translate into SQL logic. This is something that you can communicate verbally quite easily, but it's really hard to come up with a SQL expression or an example query that brings this to life. Then you have the SQL expressions, where if you had a KPI in a dashboard, you have a calculation, that's a perfect fit for defining this kind of thing here in the SQL expressions. Then finally, you have SQL queries, where you're providing Genie examples of how you want Genie to arrive at the answer for specific types of questions. All right, that's a wrap for this video. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you found that helpful.